The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am your host for this afternoon's new features. Sharon is on a well-deserved vacation. So again, we will have a chance to learn about what's coming in with the new student manager release and an update on the status of the ACEweb. So Matthew, I'm going to go ahead and make you the presenter here, if I can accomplish that here. And here we go. So you should be getting your request to give us an update on what is happening with Student Manager.
Thank you for that introduction. Seemed like a few months ago, I was running out of time to get things done, so I think I more than made up for it with all the things in 103 and 104. So got a lot to cover here, so let's dive into things. First thing I wanted to share was in the data cleanup name combine routine, added the column taken, showing you the number of courses taken for each person. That way you could kind of see, with your duplicates who's got registrations and who doesn't, and maybe that'll give you a clue as to if they are actual duplicates or not. Attendance hours. Well, this was kind of one of those quirky things. In old Visual Fox Pro, the way it handled numerics is if you didn't have a decimal point, it could actually widen itself a little bit. So you could enter 15 hours, no problem. Well, once we realized that, hey, well, for one thing, SQL Server was a little more rigid with that. You couldn't enter 2-digit hours. So I pulled back the code to make sure we weren't getting numeric overflow problems with SQL Server. And then people came a clamoring saying, no, we used the 2-digit hours. So went ahead and widened the field in both SQL Server and Student Manager so it'll hold all that data for you. Although if you're working 15 hours in a day or pushing your students to 15 hours in a day, that might be a little bit much for them. Anyway, catch-all is catching more. The new thing is room use orphans. Actually found this to be an issue with duplicate checking, or the where it's saying the room use is already being used. So yeah, need to clear out those room use, which the system should be doing it, doing that cleanup. And an orphan in this case would mean you've got room use records not attached to any course record. So yeah, it's bad data, needs cleared out. So that's been added to the catch-all to make sure we specifically don't run into that. Next thing is in the reports courses waitlists area, added NM email to the report cursor. That way when you're like doing an export, or even just, you can add NM email to your report without an add function. But yeah, you can email those people on the wait list. Maybe you're wanting to market to a another version of the course or something. There's yeah, definitely want to have that availability. So made sure to have this done for you guys. Couple of things added to the receipts reporting area. That's the co-note ONL and co-URL. Those are the new fields added for hybrid courses, although co-URL, it could be used, on your online courses as well. So made sure to have those in the receipts area for you to be able to get out to people as they need it.
And Matthew, I neglected to mention for the folks attending, if you have a question on any one of these features or updates, jot a note in the question box and we'll get to them at the end of the session. So,
sounds good. Thank you. Next thing is with mass receipts, the calendar links that I added before. Yeah. Wait, have I even talked about that? I think I'm putting the cart before the horse here. Calendar links are something I'm going to show here in a little bit. So I think I'm going to show it. I think I've got slides out of order. Anyway, we'll come back to that if we don't get to it. Receipts in general. Also send a copy. That checkmark box saves in between runs. That way, if you're continuously doing that, you're not having to recheck it every time and make sure it's rechecked. So this is the thing I was going to talk about. Send calendar attachment files. This sends a link to, sends a link for Gmail, Outlook, Office 365, and Yahoo calendars. So let me go to my demo real quick and look up a registration. I think, oh, Jason, I think Jason has a good one. So if I print receipt, let me see the email, send the calendar attachment file. Make sure you have that checked for this to work. I'm going to do the standard instead of the HTML version, just so that we could, it's not as muddy. So let me hit OK here. Okay, so the links I'm talking about for each course get added in here as HTML. So it's an add to Google Calendar here and all the proper coding. Add to Outlook. Come on. Add to Office 365 and add to Yahoo. So the bigger ones, plus it's still sending that ICS file. The big difference between the ICS file and these links is that for courses that have reoccurring sessions, so multiple sessions, this is only going to show the first session on the calendar, so they will have to manually, change it to reoccurring and put in the schedule. Yeah, that can't be done from a simple link. So the ICS file does do that. So people probably will use this more, I would think more, but this also gives them more options than if they are using online calendars or on their phone, synced up with their phone, things like that. So yeah, just more options there for people to get the links to their calendars. So I'm gonna cancel. Yeah, so there's two people grouped, so both of them are gonna get it. Yeah, the other thing with it is this will be coming to ACEweb soon, and I'll let Stein talk later about just how soon this will be. So now I can go back to talk about Mass Receipts. Mass Receipts also does the same calendar attachments as well. So not just regular receipts. It was added for regular receipts in 102. 103 added it for mass receipts. So that's why it's on two different slides. Also with email receipts, proxy, if one exists on the registration record, is added to the carbon copy line. Actually, I think that's blind carbon copy. Anyway, this is to line up student manager behavior more with what's in ACEweb, because if you're resending an email receipt, for a web registrant, the proxy person is also probably going to want to get that copy of the receipt as well, because maybe something happened and the email got lost to both of them, so both of them would want it coming again. So
we got a question on that from Miss Karen. If you're using the VCal attachment option to include that on a receipt, can you also add other attachments to that, i.e. a PDF or,
yep.
again, a document?
Yes.
So
talking about that one. So if I bring up Jason again,
you don't go to payments. You want to go to receipt?
Print receipt. Yeah. So if I hit OK, you just hit a comma at the end, and then you could put in some other file name. I don't know off the top of my head. I think you can go ahead and just hit the ...
There's a bit. Yep.
And it put in 2 commas because I already put in a comma. So if you hit the ... and pull up a second file, it will add the comma and put in your second file that you select. So yes, you can add umpteen. I think this does like have a character limit, so you can't add too many attachments. But yeah, you can add a few.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
All right. Get out of this. I'm cleaning for my next demo and come back here. Okay. Did that one. Okay. Email rosters to instructors. If you remember, I've switched it to where you can select the different fields. Well, let's just show one. Pull up a course here real quick, and quick reports. Email roster to instructor. So this, you pick and choose whichever fields you're wanting to pick to give to the instructor. Somebody pointed out that reg status is fairly important to instructors. Be able to know who's proctors and who's, I don't know, maybe there's a speaker or something, that's not an instructor. Be able to see those different registration types, different registration statuses in there. So that's now a choice. And I'm just going to say done. I don't care. Cancel. Okay. Next. File new and catalog entry. So some of the new things that we've been doing over the years, SMS templates and marketing campaigns, were missing, as well as a brand new feature called ACEweb Bulletin. And again, I've got my slide deck out of order because I'm going to talk more about ACEweb Bulletins after a little while. So anyway, we've adjusted the file and new area to make sure we have these other items that have been missing. Membership course link. So this is kind of in behind the scenes, and so you don't really have to worry about it. And what we're going to do is start tracking the course code where the membership is coming from. What that's going to do, well, the main purpose is for ACEweb eventually to have a who else is a member feature. We're putting it in now so that that's down the road when that gets taken care of or gets added, then we've got some data already in place. But another thing I think this is going to help with reporting, having another link back to the course code directly from the membership. And I think that's, I'm going to leave it at that, because
Yeah,
that's
that's
going to
fine.
be,
That's good. Yeah.
that's going to be a TBD, and yeah, I'll come up with some examples of that someday down the
You'll
road.
hear more about this
And
later. More
yeah,
to come. More to come.
yep, more to come. Speed register. What we've found is that the membership area, or if you're speed registering into a membership course, it wasn't adding the membership code to the student, because frankly, Speed Register didn't really know about membership. So I've added in the coding for all the membership course stuff and all that. So it's now, it'll take care of your memberships from now on. Add in, to students that don't have a membership, or existing students that had a previous membership, it updates that expiration date for you. So that should all be nice and kosher now. Student list, export to Excel. Before, we haven't had NMID. Some of you guys have wanted it, so we've been able to add it. So just a slight change to the export. Workshop courses. The Control T, if you want to think of it that way. So from the course screen we've had for a little while now, you can hit Control T and it'll come up with a little pop-up in the upper right-hand corner saying got it, or got addresses or something. Anyway, you can then paste into your email to, that's the T, to line. You could paste in, and it puts all the email addresses of everybody registered in the course. We haven't had that in workshops. Just now added, or in 103, which was last month's release, added it for workshops. So a little more help for you there. Group GT paid. This now has an additional parameter to filter the total being returned by it. So that way you can scope it a little bit more. Maybe you're only wanting to see certain things from the group being paid. So yeah, this will help you out there. See Cheryl's excellent documentation on how to use this, and maybe an example or two on what to do with it if you need it. Set filter. This is the so when you do a set filter for reporting purposes, but you're like in some of the areas like course and things like that, it could have duplicates come up in the query. So like if you're doing a range of courses, maybe somebody is registered multiple times across those different courses, so they're going to only be flagged once. Well, the message coming up on the screen, it kind of made it seem like this was a problem, and it matched the criteria multiple times. It's not really a problem. It's just letting you know. So yeah, this the messaging basically has changed, not the functionality, just the messaging, just to let you know that, hey, these 46 names in this example, 46 names were registered multiple times across the 122 registrations coming out of the system. So a little bit there. Course note, because it can be used on receipts that are HTML encoded, especially the ACEweb receipt, we've now added the generate HTML button for this, so that you can pretty it up and do what you need to do with some HTML coding. Remember, if you are using still the note on printed receipts, we have a strip HTML function that can pull out this HTML. This is kind of why we've been hesitant to add this functionality. Is you know, don't want HTML coding to show up on a printed receipt, but with that the strip HTML function, it's the best of both worlds. You can put it in both places, and it's going to be just fine in both areas. So, and the strip HTML function is in the documentation, so look it up, but it's just strip HTML, open parens, code note, PRT, in parens, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Next thing, active flag on password maintenance. So this, you can deactivate users. Say they retire, say they leave your company for another company like Mike is doing at the end of this week. You can go into Student Manager Password Maintenance and deactivate. And that'll disallow them from logging in. They will quit showing up on like the cache box as a selectable user from drop downs on the various areas to where you could select a user, like the name callback feature, the remind who on the course screen, quit showing on there. And the next release of ACEweb will also respect the active flag so that they won't even be able to log in on ACEweb. So, firm county. We haven't had county on the firm screen. So when you log into Student Manager for the first time after the 104 update, it may take an extra minute or so for, especially if you have a lot of firms in your system, because it is going through and pulling from the zip code table the county for you, assuming you guys even use it. But just kind of be aware of that. But then going forward, then you have access to be able to differentiate, especially, you know, location wise. Okay, this is the whichever firm for this county. This is the same firm, but it's in a different county. Be able to differentiate by that. So. Forget me on this computer. We've had remind me on this computer now since conference, maybe a little bit before. But some people have wanted to be forgotten. So under tools, I've added this little feature of forget me. So then they're back to logging in like the old way. So.
And again, for those who might have missed that, the remember me when you log in, if you noticed there's a little box that says remember me on this computer. Well, if somebody checked that and then we're told maybe by management to say, hey, we don't want you having automatic logins. We want you to log in with your password every time. That now isn't, there was a way before, but now there'll be a menu-based way to say, okay, put me back into the normal enter password, enter username in order to log in. So,
right. ACEweb Bulletins. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about what they actually do. I'm going to just basically show you where it's at in Student Manager. Module catalog, because we're using the catalog screen, and ACEweb Bulletin. And I'm just going to pull up this. So then you can enter in a message. And from here, I'm going to let Stein later, when he gets to his portion, talk about what ACEweb does with it. So just kind of realize where it is in Student Manager, and that way we could talk about it later.
A quick question on that, Matthew, is will 103 automatically create the catalog records for AW Warning and AW Bulletin?
Yep.
Okay, very good. So in other words,
102 did that, yep.
Right. Okay, so that you won't have to create any new records. There will be those 2 records sitting there ready for you to edit, and Stein will tell you in his section what all wonderful things that does.
Exactly. Printing a payment plan, which I'm not talking about printing a payment plan after it's already been created. This is printing a payment plan before it gets created. Who do I have that has a balance? I think Jason has one. Nope. No charge.
There's one.
Here we go. 230. So I'm going to put this as a payment plan, which you change this to billing and do payment plan. How many installments we want? Well, I'm going to do 5, make it kind of even. Say okay. So the new thing here is the print button right here. So $46 per payment over the next 5 months. So you could print this at this point. It gives you preview on the screen, but then you can print out for the student to see. And if they say, yeah, that'll work for me, you can say okay. Or if they're like, I don't know, that may not work with me in my budget. Can we do something different? Well, you can cancel and go back and try again. But hopefully he says, yeah, that'll work. So hit okay and you're finished up. So that way you're not going through and canceling now 5 or voiding 5, or probably deleting because it doesn't have an invoice number. Delete 5 payment records here before creating a new one. You've got that intermediary step there where you can still cancel if the student has a problem or an issue with that payment plan. So a little more help there. Date open for enrollment. Okay, so here's what's going on. If I pull up an online course, where is, right here, Management Information Systems. Okay, so we got an online course here, an enrollment open date here. Well, let's say that this is now going to be a Zoom course instead of a, I don't know, Blackboard course. And the Zoom is going to happen on one specific day, and we're no longer really need the date open for enrollment. We're going to have it on December 15th, 12/15. All right, so what has happened here is that the enrollment open date has cleared out and grayed out. Why? Because ACEweb is going to start ignoring this field anyway. Once you've got a begin date in here, that's going to get that course showing up in your regular calendar of courses. It's going to show up on ACEweb with this setting. So yeah, you're good to go just by replacing the begin date. Do make sure your published properties are set and lag days if you're making sure you want it to show up right up until the last minute. Switch this lag days to 0. That way people can still enroll in it the day of the course. So yeah.
Let's stay with that a second here. I think some of the issues that we were running into here was that people had an enrollment open date and then a begin date, but that if ACEweb saw an enrollment open date, it wasn't looking at the begin date when you were doing things like show classes in date order or some of this kind of stuff, Matthew. There was some, how do you say, not inconsistencies, but uncertainty about where this course was going to be displayed because it's a different breed of online course. So anyway, I think this is going to give us a more consistent approach to that. So
right.
And
Okay.
Stein might offer 2 cents on that when he gets online. So.
Right. All right. Next thing I've got AW pendings. So what I have done is with the F7 pay grabber, we've had payments flagged as AW pending for a while. You can use that to search for the AW pendings. Yes, I'm just going to do that right now. So one of the things different is this screen. I've rearranged some things to help you, see some of the things you need to email, phone numbers, so you can get a hold of the student. Say, hey, was there a problem when you were registering, or did you just mean to cancel and abandon out? One of the things I've added is directly from here. Double click on the student. You can go to the student. Double click, I think the course something. Yeah, the payer. Double click on the payer name to go directly to the payment. So then you can clear out the AW pending manually from here. Or be able to look at more information on here and see what's going on with this registration. Or this payment at least. Maybe you need to see the additional notes and get the transaction number or something to match up with your things. Maybe this was an actual good payment, so you do need to change this to a Visa and get this showing up as revenue. Whatever you need to do. So that's this screen. If you close this, which records would you like to unmark as pending? So this is going to clear out that AW pending for you. So you don't have to go to the payment screen and do them one by one. You can do them all in mass. Of course, I've only got one. This is my demo. Yeah, it's not doing much. So I've deselected everything. The other option is deleting. So if there are still ones that are unchecked, so it's still an AW pending in the system. Do you want to just completely delete it? You could say yes or no. I want to keep that for historical reference. Whatever you need to do, or maybe you're still checking out some of these, so you don't want to delete it. So say no to that. The other thing we have here is auto clear AW pendings with no balance. What I'm talking about is, so somebody has come in to ACEweb, they've registered, gotten to the payment screen, bailed out of it, but then, so it's put the AW pending in the system. Then they've come back in, ACEweb has recycled the registration, and they go to make a new payment, and they're successful this time. So it's left the AW pending in the system, but now they have a successful payment already paying it. So you don't need to pay any attention to it. You're at this point, that AW pending is just an extra record. So check marking auto clear on that is going to automatically just remove AW pending from the authorization number on just those cases.
I'm gonna stop here and make sure the folks watching are following this. In that this is I think a big deal. That it will allow you hopefully some better tools to clear those. Question on process, Matthew. Would you recommend, after we're thinking about this, that if you are running pay grabber with this flagged AW pending check, shouldn't you uncheck payments flagged as AW pending and do the auto clear first to basically get rid of the redundant ones?
And well, you still need to first of all check the AW
Okay.
appending.
So it
It's
does.
got to get into that routine. Yeah.
So in other words, this will do the but this does it going into it. So when you have that
Right.
checked, it will eliminate those redundant superfluous. Help me out. Superfluous.
Yeah. Yes.
Unnecessary AW appendings before it even starts showing you one. So
Right.
yeah, then my brain was thinking that you did one or the other, but you're right that I forgot that does it as part of the search for AW appending. So, but
To
that
me, I think this should be checked every single time.
Always checked, yeah, because there's no reason to have, unless you just want to know that some student had 15 credit cards that they tried before they found one that worked, I suppose. So, all right.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that answers my question. And again, I don't see anything from the team, so carry on.
Yep. And yeah, check out Cheryl's excellent documentation on this. So.
And I do want to give a shout out. This was a feature that came out of a focus group with some ACEware users. So again, for those of you who participated, we appreciate that. And it's an example of where, again, you as customers are driving changes in the software. So.
Yes, it was a very good meeting, and I got a ton out of that meeting. So I'm hoping this helps you guys out a lot. This, I'm sure this isn't like complete by any means, but I think this is definitely we got some excellent tools here, I think, to help you out. So
you did it. Do this one more time. You didn't clear anything, did you? Go ahead and run this again. Nope. And I wasn't paying attention. Where do you click to go to actually edit the payment record if you wanted to one by one? So double click the payer name, and it will bring up the payment record. Feature question or wish list. Do you think we could put a note in the header of that command of that window? Double click payer name to edit pay record.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, you're talking with the
right,
title
up in the dim header up there. So we might want to be a little more clear or make sure people realize that's now an option. So very good. All right, thank you.
Edit the wish list. I'll get it done.
Thank you.
All right. I think yes. So that's everything I've got to cover. Went a little over my half an hour allotted, but yeah, I will let Stein take over now and talk about ACEweb.
Stein, you want to be the presenter here, or you want to just chat away here? Let me. Stein, we don't hear you. Maybe I have to make him the presenter.
There
you are. There you are.
Yeah, we're back in the GoToMeeting world instead of the Zoom world, and I couldn't find any of the buttons.
Yeah, we switched back and forth.
But don't make me presenter. I don't have anything to present. I didn't know that until I brought up the calendar for this meeting. I didn't realize Jason was out today, so I have nothing. So, but if somebody wants to go to the demo side, we can show off that warning thing that Cheryl does have that up.
Okay, hang on a second, and I will do that. So, Matthew, am I showing the right screen here?
We see you.
Which one's which here?
You're showing my chat right now.
Okay, all right. Well, let me drag that out of the way and bring up the ACEweb demo here. ACEware University. Here we go. Oh, that's a different one. Let's try ACE. Yeah, hang on a second. I got on the showcase here.
Yeah, you did.
All right. So here we are.
Yeah. You notice the black bar there below the main title bar, example announcement. This is mostly credit to Cheryl's JavaScript skills. We're going to pull that warning field out of the specially marked catalog records and whatever you put in there will show up now on your, if you've added this to your templates, you can have it show on your home page. Actually, you could put it on your standard template and have it show on every page if you really wanted. But there'll be two categories. One is sort of a general announcement. Oh, and then, the warning message at the top. I didn't, yes, yeah.
Yeah, at the top.
Yeah, and so that one is, as you know, a weather-related issue or something has come up, or Chuck is out today, all his classes are canceled. You can throw that up there in the warning box, and it will show up in that area. And the other one is, for more long-term things, the special of the week or whatever that you might want to show up there. But those will be available with the 066 release. There'll be either get updated templates or get the details on how to add it to your existing template. So, and the other side of that is something that we're still doing in testing, but hopefully we'll have it out with 066, is a screen where you can edit those fields from within ACEweb if you have the Manager Web capability. So if you log in through the Staff Web Access feature, we're going to have a link in there that will send you over to those specific catalog records, and you can, so if it is, the bad snowstorm and you can't even get into the office to change, to get at your student manager to change the announcement, you can log in from home, change the announcement, and it will show up on then all of your, everyone who hits your website from then on. And I believe we've got a sell by date feature with this, so you can put it on and say, at the end of this, I just want this to show during October, so put a end date of October 31st, and then it will show and then automatically go away.
Let me see if I can grab that real quick on the bulletin announcement. Oh, there is an expire date on that. So again, even on something like a weather storm, if you anticipate that the typhoon will end by Friday, you could put an expire date so it would automatically drop. And of course, as Stein noted, from Manager, you could remove this or change the expire date anytime you want. But if you were wanting to, if you knew it had a fixed time, you're able to do that. Well, I guess that was the message. On the message one, fall catalogs, you'd say, well, we're going to end that 12/01 because that's when the winter catalog comes out, and we'll just automatically drop it then, and we'll be updating it to the spring. So, all right. I am excited about that. So again, I hope that you get, now again, that's going to be in 66, right? Or is that?
No, that's
all,
available
now.
I mean, it's there on our demo, right?
Right.
You're looking at it. It's out there already.
So
the online editor we hope to have in 66.
It's the online editor, but
yeah, that's the
the point is, and I think as you clarified, your templates will need to be modified to add this element. So again, if you have something that you'd like to try this on, get with your tech to get your template edited to add this. Basically, it just puts a space on your template for this message to display whenever you would enter it through the catalog module. So, all right. Stein,
okay.
Anything else kind of coming up or working on in 66?
Yeah, let's see, a couple of things for Quick Pick users. I don't know if we've got anybody on here who's using Quick Pick, but the new hybrid courses that we came out with a couple builds ago are now going to be supported in Quick Pick. That's actually, I think, it's out in testing now, but I think that's pretty well on the way. Another feature, and forget who was doing this, but we worked it out for them, and we're going to make it available to everybody, is a discounted rate to selected members. And it will be a quick pick feature that you can hit quick pick with a special parameter. So up there where you see the quick pick AWP as the call to the quick pick page, you'll put a question mark and a special set of parameters that will allow that quick pick page to offer special versions of certain courses, or is it special fees or special courses? I can't even remember now, but you'll be able to configure it so that the people who get that special link will get a discounted price. So you may have a special deal for a certain business, and their employees get in the course at this discount. And the way that they will give that you'll enable this for them is just to send them that special link. Now, it will be kind of a trust thing that you're trusting them not to share that with non-authorized people, because anybody who has the link would get this, be able to get in on this offer. But sort of the same as with coupons. You know, you give out a coupon code and you're trusting that your people aren't going to, your users aren't going to go wildly sharing that and giving coupons to people who you didn't want to have it. So it's kind of the same deal.
Stein, I've been trying to play along with you, like the assistant here showing the pleasure cards. Is that the kind of thing they would do then?
Yeah. It'll be, the link will be well defined with some obscure codes in it, so it won't be something they could just guess at. But be like that, and exactly that would be what you would the way you do it. So
very good. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. That's cool.
All right, so those are a couple of quick pick things. There's an email issue, and we just Cheryl just ran a successful test for this yesterday, so we think this is going to be going to go to. There's issues with Microsoft disabling basic authentication, and I'm not going to try to explain exactly what that is because I don't totally understand it, but in certain email configurations that may impact whether you can generate emails from within a program, to send out to the users. Matthew has implemented this a couple of builds ago in Manager. It's a special extra library you can add called MailKit that supposedly deals with this, and you'll need a couple of DLLs and some other supporting libraries to make it work. But we got it working in Manager, but of course, that's not, if you find out you can mail from Manager but can't mail from ACEweb, then that isn't too cool. So we've just now with 066, hopefully we'll also have it supported in ACEweb for people who need it. Now, it may not be that it will even impact you. It depends on your internal configuration of things and so forth. But
yeah, right now there's no plan to shut down basic authentication until October of 2022. So we're well ahead of the game as far as Microsoft is concerned. So.
Yeah. Let's see, what else have we got in testing? Okay, let's see, some another quick pick issue, support for fee limits. We've had that in regular ACEweb, that only a certain number of people can get a special fee when you if you've configured that fee limit, but it wasn't coming up in Quick Pick. That will be the case now. Once that fee limit has been reached, then that particular fee will not show up on the Quick Pick page. So,
and again, that's going to be, I think, definitely a value when you're doing these hybrid courses where you might be offering an in-seat or an in-class option and then an online option, and obviously in-class would be limited, but the online would not. So that's, I think,
that's Chuck. That's separate than the hybrid issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is special fees with fee limits. We've had that for quite a while.
Right.
Now with the hybrid course, which is also that we're going to be able to support now in Quick Pick.
Okay.
That came out again a couple builds ago in both ACEweb and Manager. That was the deal where you've got a set number of physical seats in the class, but you'll take more people, but the extra people have to come on online because you've only got 20 people can fit in the classroom. But if they want to link in by Zoom, we can take another 30. So. But those classes were not. We didn't have the support on the Quick Pick side for that, and that's going to be coming out.
Sounds good.
See a pretty kind of minor thing on the About page. I don't know if this one's up there. Got hit the About AWP there. And what do we get for Student Manager? All you see is version 8.0. We're going to, starting with 066, be able to show down to your exact build number of Student Manager through the About page. Obviously, probably nothing yet your customers are going to care about, but it might be, if you're not in the office and you need to find out your manager version, and you're online with your tech, and here's a quick way we can, or the tech can actually go on and find out. So just a quick way of doing that. Attachments, we've got, this is a kind of an obscure feature where you can upload, your users can upload attachments to your site. And now we are going to be able to restrict the size of those attachments. So the few of you who might be using that, and if you're not using that and think it might be useful, get with your tech and find out about it. Let's see.
Stein,
yeah.
On the about.awp, I think users will also need Student Manager 103 or newer for that.
Good
new
point.
About.
Right. Because we needed a place, we needed a smart enough manager to tell ACEweb what its version number is, along with ACEweb being able to find it. So yeah, you'll need both upgrading to ACEweb and a manager upgrade. Let's see, there was a INI editor blanking values. That's kind of an obscure bug, but in some cases, people were trying to, this is going to only affect your staff, not your users. If you were using our INI editor and change your ACEweb INI settings, we had under certain conditions, instead of changing it, it was just blanking it out, which was not a good thing. And so it won't do that anymore, we promise. Let's see, we've got the course type added to the advanced search. This again is probably, if you, we have that advanced search option. Let's see, there should be, there we go, yeah. And we've added a new drop down there for course type. It's optional. And in fact, it will by default only show for your staff, people who log in with staff web access. If they want to get a list of, say, all the workshop courses, they can do that. Again, your end users probably aren't going to understand the nuances of this, and you may not even want to show it to them, but that's going to be there. Let's see, ACEweb admin emails. Yeah, there was a problem with the error messages. We've got an option that you can send admin to, you can specify a user who will get ACEweb error messages emailed to them, which both alerts you that your users are getting error messages, encountering error messages, and gives you something you can send to your tech, so gives us a head start on knowing just what to deal with, because those detailed error messages have a lot of helpful stuff that we can use for debugging. But we were finding in certain conditions that those were not going out, and we've, I think, found and corrected the problem with that. So if that was an issue, hopefully that will be fixed with the new build. And let's see the quick pick issues, the emailing, this one's still under testing, but we're pretty sure we'll get it in 066. We've got the option in Manager to assign special rates to senior citizens, and you can determine the age that makes someone a senior citizen, and then give them that special membership, that special fee category, which might get them a discount or something. But it was only working, you had to edit the member in Manager to make it apply. We're going to try to get that to happen in ACEweb so that it will happen both when they log on. It will do a quick check. Hey, is so-and-so over 62 years old? And if so, hey, they're going to get the new rate. So you'll have a flag that will trigger that check whenever a user logs on. And so that way, if they logged on last week, they didn't get it, but their birthday was yesterday, they log on today, they should now get the discounted rate. And the other place we'll want to put it is, of course, when you add a new user or edit their personal data record in ACEweb, that we check at that point to see if they're qualified. So those things are, that one's going to come in. And let's see, the emergency special bulletins we mentioned, and I think there's Matthew brought this up, the special membership area to share name with other users. That one is still under construction. Don't know if it's going to make 066. It may have to wait, but that will be initially only in Quick Pick. That will have that option so that you can go in Quick Pick, which is pretty much oriented toward memberships, and they'll, when if a non-member comes in, they want to say, hey, who else is a member? And maybe they'll say, hey, my cousin got in. If he thinks this is a good deal, maybe I'll do it too. So that's coming, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna add a little caveat there. Actually, given that it's Quick Pick, it's really something that we could add. Wouldn't have to wait until the next official ACEweb release, because it's easier to. We can give you a quick update to the Quick Pick page. So that may be a possibility, but that's some down the pike. But the other ones that I mentioned are hopefully coming with 066. And as I said, we're in the midst of testing right now. So whenever we get through that and course, we hope Jason gets, since Jason's our main tester, we need to get him healthy and back to work. Not that we wouldn't want him healthy just on general principles, but you know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. We're
But
not that hard.
when we say, when you get a get well soon card from Chuck, you know he really means it. So.
Back to that membership element, you know, on a regular class, an actual course, you can have the option to click to add a who is attending option, which would show the other students in this class. With a membership course, who's a member, it's a little different because it could show members of that who registered for that member class, but of course membership is managed differently, and this basically it requires a little bit of rework into that show who else is a member kind of option. So that's why Stein and crew are needing to do a little bit more assembly on that. So. Well, Stein, Matthew, we're running up to an hour. We have a lot of stuff covered. Matthew, can you think of anything else that we haven't covered? And I want to thank our attendees who have been hanging in there for a whole hour watching what's going on. So.
No, but you have been a great Vanna White for Stein.
Here we go. Very good. Don't have the legs, but what the heck? We'll take what we can get. Stein, thank you much for covering for Jason, and thanks all for attending. The 104 is available as we speak right now for the student manager upgrade. As Stein has mentioned, 6.6 is in testing, and we hope to have it ready to go within hopefully a couple of weeks, maybe at the latest. So that's my shot right now. So. We welcome your comments. Again, any thoughts, ideas, wish lists that you want to pass on, get them to us. We will let you get back to work and have a great week. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right.